Hi, I'm Stephen with AlbertaUrbanGarden.ca. Welcome to my garden. On today's episode, we're going to talk about green manure and cover crops and how they can help you continue to build your soil going into fall so that next year you have the best possible garden soil for your perennials and your annuals.
Even though it's nice and warm outside, it's time in Zone 3 to start thinking about fall. As such, we have a great opportunity to continue to build our soil, helping both the plants this year and for years to come. Our first frost typically occurs in the last week of September or the first week of October. When selecting cover crops, you want to select species that fix nitrogen, such as peas or clover, or help keep weeds and disease at bay, such as mustard. This practice is one of the great rediscoveries of old farm knowledge. Cover crops serve a number of functions. It covers the soil, preventing wind erosion and water loss through evaporation, while fixing nitrogen by building the soil's beneficial microbe populations. When the plants are killed, it releases the nitrogen and provides more organic material, further improving the soil and beneficial organisms in the soil. The nitrogen-fixing plants form a symbiotic relationship with bacteria that fix atmospheric nitrogen into more bioavailable forms. In return, the bacteria get nutrients from the plant. Disease-fighting plants act in a number of ways, typically pushing away or simply not attracting the garden pests. You can use green manure at any time of the growing season as long as you have at least 6 to 8 weeks prior to killing the crop. Any shorter of a time will not allow you to get the best results. In my case, I began with peas when I initially filled the beds and planted my perennials. This helped keep the soil down and began to culture the beneficial bacteria in the soil. You can plant cover crops in open patches of your garden or in between already established crops, allowing them to do their work during and after your crop is in there. In open areas, I choose to use a bit of potting soil to cover the severely degraded mulch layer and some used coffee grounds to give a little bit of plant-available nutrition, but also to attract the native earthworms and my red wigglers that are living in the area. They will bring in more beneficial bacteria to further enhance the soil. In my case, I've selected 3 varieties for my garden. I'll be adding them to the new garden beds around my new perennials. This should not only help my perennials, but prepare the soil for next year's companion crops in the same bed. I have selected 2 nitrogen-fixing plants and 1 disease-fighting plant. In order, they're winter field peas, white Dutch clover, and white mustard. For the best results, with any nitrogen-fixing cover crop, it's best to inoculate the cover crop's seeds. This inoculant provides nitrogen-fixing bacteria directly to where they'll be needed. In my case, I ordered too late in the season and was not able to obtain any inoculant. Instead, I used actively aerated compost tea containing compost and garden soil that already have these bacteria found in them. By creating the compost tea and watering in the seeds with it, the bacteria should be ready for when the cover crop sprouts. Over the next 6 to 8 weeks, I will keep an eye on these plants. When they begin to flower, I will either kill them or let the first few frosts kill them. If I have to remove these plants myself and the frost doesn't do the work for me, I'll choose to chop and drop. What that means is you simply cut the plant at the base, right near the soil, and drop the organic material on top, again creating a nice mulch layer that will further enhance the soil. The root system will decay, releasing not only the bacterium, but the fixed nitrogen as well. It's important to do this before they go to seed, so that you can clear the bed and allow you to plant your crops for consumption next year. Thank you very much for spending time with me today. I appreciate it very much, and I hope you have a fantastic day.